there, it's Darcy Sullivan from the Clinic Marketing Podcast and Propel Marketing and Design. Before we dive into today's episode, I'd like to take this opportunity to invite you to a brand new, limited time, on-demand webinar called How to Dominate Google Search, Google Maps, and AI-driven search results. This is designed just for clinics. In just 1 hour, you'll get a roadmap for boosting your online visibility, making sure people near you find your clinic first, all without paying for ads. You'll also walk away with a free patient-centered SEO action plan. If you've ever felt buried in the Google results or puzzled about how to rank higher for your targeted keywords, this webinar is for you. Register now by visiting propelyourcompany.com/learn or grab the link in the show notes. Hello, and welcome to the Clinic Marketing Podcast. This is Darcy Sullivan from Propel Marketing and Design. Today, we're talking about Apple Business and why this is something more clinics need to start paying attention to. Apple Business is what used to be called Apple Business Connect and what controls the way your business or clinic shows up in Apple Maps. Now, Apple has rolled Apple Business Connect into a bigger platform that is called Apple Business. While some of the newer features are more operational and behind the scenes, there are some still very important visibility features for local businesses and clinics. So today I want to walk you through what changed, what still matters, what's actually worth your time, and what you can ignore for now. Because no, you do not need to learn every part of Apple Business. But yes, you should care about the parts that affect how your clinic shows up across Apple's ecosystem. Let's start with what Apple Business is now. Apple Business is Apple's all-in-one platform for businesses. It combines features that used to live in different Apple systems, including Apple Business Connect, and it has rolled these into one place. For clinic owners, the part that matters most is still the brand and location management side. This is what connects your business to Apple Maps and where your clinic shows up when someone searches, asks Siri, or interacts with Apple services. Apple allows businesses to manage their brand name, logo, location details, photos, and other key information. That information can appear across Apple Maps, Safari, Spotlight Search, and more. So even though Apple Business is now bigger than listings, for most clinics, this is still about being able to be discoverable and making sure your information is accurate and complete. So let's talk about why this matters. A lot of clinics still put almost all of their attention on Google, but your patients are not all searching the same way. A large percentage of people are using iPhones. Many of them use Apple Maps by default. I know I do. Some rely on Siri for recommendations. Some never touch Google Maps at all. Apple is continuing to build out its local discovery system, and Apple Business is a key part of that. Apple also provides insights into how customers find and interact with your business on maps, including searches, views, and actions, like tapping for directions or calling you. So this is not just about having a listing sit there. It is about being claimed, accurate, complete, and giving Apple strong information it can trust. If your clinic has ignored Apple in the past because it felt secondary to Google, that probably made more sense a few years ago than it does now. Now, let's talk about what's actually changed. In the past, you've heard me speak of Apple Business Connect. There's been episodes about it on this podcast, got blog posts about it, and more. So if you're looking at any of those old articles, I suggest you finish with this one first, and you might notice some differences because, again, things have changed. The first big change is that Apple Business Connect is now part of Apple Business. When you sign in your existing account and organization move into the new platform. The second change is how accounts work. You can continue using a personal Apple account if you only want to manage your brand and location information. If you want access to a full set of Apple Business features, you would use a managed Apple account. For most clinic owners, that means you can keep things simple if your main goal is visibility and listings. Now listen, we're going to talk about a lot of things here, but if it is easier for you, please feel free to read the blog post that also provides helpful links and some screenshots to help you along your journey. But let's talk about what you actually need to focus on. First, you need to claim your location on Apple Maps. You can grab that link in the URL associated with this episode. Again, that will take you to the blog post that has more details along with helpful resources. If your business is not claimed, Apple may pull information from third-party sources, and that information could be wrong or incomplete. So you're going to want to review that carefully. Second, you want to fully complete your place card. This includes your business name, categories, services, photos, hours, contact information, and website. Now, if you are a member of our Ready, Set, Rank program, our DIY SEO program, we have a very detailed training in there on how to optimize your Google business profile listing. What I suggest you do is that you go in and you optimize your Google business profile listing, and then you can copy and paste based off of the information that you've used in your Google business profile listing, which includes, again, your name, your categories, your services, description information, contact information, using the same photos and making sure that your hours match. Apple uses this information to build what they call a rich place card, which can show across Apple Maps and other Apple experiences. Third, you want to keep your brand consistent. Your business name, logo, and messaging should match what is on your website and other platforms. Again, why it's sometimes easier to copy and paste once you've set up your Google business profile listing correctly. For if you want to pay attention to insights, Google gives you data on how people are finding and interacting with your listing, which can help you understand your visibility trends. Now, there are a few newer details that are worth noting. If you are setting this up from scratch, there is a verification process. Apple allows up to 60 days to complete the verification, and it requires 2 verification methods. That can include things like business identifier, domain validation, or original document. The review process can take a few business days. If you are using domain verification, there is a limited window to complete it and may require access to your website's DNS settings. Another important piece is access. Once your organization is verified, you can share access with a marketing partner or agency without giving up full control, which is nice. That makes it easier to have someone manage this if is needed for somebody to manage this. Again, this isn't like your Google business profile listing. This isn't like other social media that you have. You're not posting to this continually. You're not making a campaign about actively posting to this. You really just want to make sure that it's set up correctly and that you check in on it from time to time. So let's talk briefly about what new features are available. Now, in the United States and Canada, Apple Business includes brand and location management and additional features like branded mail and payment capabilities. Not every feature is relevant for every business, but the platform is clearly being built out in these markets. There is also a newer feature to watch, which is ads on Apple. Now, we don't talk a lot about ads necessarily in these episodes, but I think it is important to note that Apple is rolling out advertising within Maps where businesses can appear during search moments. This is still very early at the time that I'm recording this, which usually means less competition and an opportunity to get in before it becomes crowded. You do not need to jump on ads right away or at all. It's really up to what goals your business is trying to meet, but it is something to keep an eye on. Now, let's make it practical. If you are listening to this and wondering, what do I do next? Here is the simple plan that I have for you. First, check if your clinic is already set up. If you claimed your listing in the past, log in and make sure everything looks accurate under Apple Business. If you are not set up, start the process and be prepared for verification. It is not always instant. Third, focus on getting your core details right. We used to call these NAP, name, address, and phone number, but really they go beyond. They include your name, your address, your phone number, your hours, your services, photos, and your website URL. All of these need to be accurate and complete and match with other listings online. Fourth, make sure your Apple presence aligns with your website and overall SEO strategy. Your messaging and services should match everywhere. Now let's talk about what you can ignore for now, because there are a lot of bells and whistles. Apple Business includes a lot of features that are not relevant for most clinic owners. So there's no reason with you getting bogged down by all of this, right? You can ignore things like device management, employee account structures, organizational units, and most of the more technical setup features. Those are useful for large organizations, but they are not what drives visibility for a local clinic like yours. The main takeaway here is that Apple Business is bigger than it used to be, but your focus does not need to be. You want to focus on your Apple Maps presence, which is your place card details, your verification, and your overall consistency online. Because Google is no longer the only place patients are finding clinics. We now have Google, we have Apple, we have AI tools, we have voice search, all playing a role in how people discover businesses and clinics. If your clinic is only focused on one platform, you're leaving gaps. Apple Business is one of those gaps for a lot of clinics right now, which also makes it one of the easiest opportunities. If you have never checked your Apple presence, now is a great time to do it. And if you have not looked at it since the Apple Business Connect days, which I have a feeling is a lot of people that are listening, it is definitely worth revisiting. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's episode, and if you found this of value, please share it with somebody else that you think would find value from it, or please leave a review on Apple Podcast. Thanks so much for being here. I'll talk to you in the next episode.